Hi guys, Happy New Year's Eve or Happy New Year's Day, depending on the time zone you're in when this comes out. I wanted to show you guys my Pokemon card binder, which has all of my holographic, rares, and simply my favorite cards that I've collected in the last few weeks, maybe even a month. So to start off, I have my two jumbo cards. There is the Mewtwo GX and the Morpeko VMAX. Just to the right are my Milcery cards. I have a few commons, 2 copies of the full art, and 2 copies of the Shiny Volt, so only one of them is actually in the binder. Next up are my Alchemys, which if you didn't know are part of the Alchemy Saga that is also available on my channel. My goal for this is to collect at least one variant of every single Alchemy card prior to 2025. Over here I have 5 copies of this one particular card. I originally ordered 2 of each holo variant, but I found a third one not too long ago. There is the Shiny Volt and a copy of the Balanlea promo, which is one of the gym boxes that I've mentioned earlier. Just on the right, I have my Alchemy V cards, my Alchemy V Maxes, and a couple more commons or rares depending on the series that they're from. The bottom left corner is where I have one of my later Alchemy Vs, which is a little bit hard to see right now, so I'm actually taking it out to give you guys a better look at it. The one right next to it is the rainbow version of the Alchemy VMAX, which, fun fact, is actually the first Alchemy that I've officially bought. My favorite of the Alchemy cards is the Rebel Clash Alchemy, which is the one where she's holding a little strawberry. The runner-up is my Alchemy EX, which is, by my experience, the hardest Alchemy that I've had to obtain. Alright, next up is the Tinkatink, Tinkatuff, and Tinkaton family. The first 2 pages that you see right here are dedicated to more common cards, and even a couple of promos that are from booster pack sets, like the ones of the 3 booster packs, and then you have a random promo card. This page right here is where I keep the more valuable cards, mainly the Shiny Volts, the EX, which I got from a Battle Deck set, and, of course, the holographic full arts. Now I'm just flipping through the rest of my binder. There are the occasional cards that I zoom in on, which are a bit special to me. There's the Larion, which I've pulled from a recent set, the Crocodile, which I bought from my little sister, and a very damaged Charizard EX, which is one of 3 cards that I found off of a playground. The other 2 are my Mega Caesar and an Alolan Ninetales GX. This Giratina V over here is one of my favorites. I love how scary he looks. I also think he's very cool. This is my first Terra card. It just happens to be a Gyarados. It's not my favorite card in my collection, especially when compared to my Terastallized Arcanine, but he definitely has a spot in my binder, let's just say that. This is where I keep 2 of my favorite EXs. Over here is my Mimikyu, who looks very menacingly threatening. And just a little bit below that, I have my Galarian Shiny Ponyta, who is actually my first card from the Shiny Volt series. I bought her on the same day I got a Team Plasma Vaporeon, a Team Plasma Flareon, and of course my new Nintendo 3DS XL. Down here is my Diancie, which I bought, and the Jinx and the Unknown are 2 of my most recent hits. I love the Jinx card. Now we're getting into favorite Pokemon territory. I have at least 1 card of each member of the Paldean starters. Of the 3, I love Meowscarada the most. I love Magicians. And just to the right is where I keep my Wooloos. I love the shiny Wooloo. Now I'm just flipping through even more pages to show you guys the assorted Pokemon that I either really like the artwork of the cards or I like the Pokemon themselves. Here is the Arcanine that I've mentioned just a little bit earlier when I was talking about the Gyarados. He looks very tough. And now we're having a look at my Sunny Day Castform. This one was a little bit of a joke because prior to just a few days ago, I was only ever able to get Sunny Day Castform for some reason. It was kind of just like my luck. But now I have finally broken that streak and have gotten a regular Castform. Over here is my Litwick and Zubat. Now we're having a look at the Hydreigon line. And more importantly, the Bellibolt page. I really love Bellibolt. I even have 2 of him on my shelf. Oh, and a little photograph of the 2 Bellibolts. Next up, we have the Snom and the Frostmoth and the Alphalins and my Noibats, which I actually have a shiny Noibat and Noivern. And over here is my shiny Rowlet. A very evil looking guy, I must say. To wrap up this section of the binder, I have my Tsarina cards and the Bounceleaf family in general. I actually have 3 copies of the Radiant Tsarina card. I ordered 2, I bought 1 more, but I forgot that I bought the other 2. Kinda goofy stuff. So now we're going to dive into the more sentimental cards of my collection, which just so happen to be the Evolution family. The cards that you see on screen right now are actually my first Pokemon cards, which I got on Christmas when I was 10 years old. Shortly after getting these cards on Christmas, I brought my collection to school to show off to my friends, and believe it or not, I actually lost my Flareon and Glaceon. I've tried looking for them, even retracing my steps, but I could just never figure out where they went. So either I misplaced them or somebody stole them. It's been several years since I have lost both of these cards, and during that time, I just had those 2 holes in my otherwise perfect collection of either damaged or very played cards. Though very recently, I've been able to obtain a lightly played copy of both that missing Flareon and Glaceon. As soon as I got them, I put them into my binder, and now the family is complete again. Anyway, several years after getting my first Evolution box, I got the collection that has all of the Evolution members, but as V cards. No VMAXs included, obviously. Then over on the right, we start with Eevee, and then we kind of just work our way through all of the different cards that I have of this specific family. Among them, I have this rare holographic full art of Eevee, which can be sold for around $66 in some stores. But even though it's not my favorite of the Eevee cards, I'm still making the decision to keep it. Unless somebody has, like, another Pokemon that I really, really want. But until then, that's not an option. Other than that, I have cards from both Eevee and their evolutions from a range of different series. I have some that are from Team Rocket, others that are from Team Plasma, a handful of EXs sprinkled in here and there, and then the Japanese cards, which are from, I believe, the TerraFest collection, that is releasing in English in, if I remember right, either January or February. You can see that I have a Sylveon EX that looks very terrestrialized already. A handful of the Sylveons are fairy type, but the newer ones, on the other hand, they got, like, the psychic type, because for some reason they got rid of, like, the fairy type in, like, the card production stuff. Anyway, what I do with these cards. So, as I've mentioned, I am not particularly fond or familiar with the economic side of the card culture, nor do I have intentions of being involved with the culture that plays with the cards. Instead, I associate myself more with the artistic side of the culture. I prefer to take my Pokemon cards and turn them into little collages that I feature in my diary. And one of these collages, they have a Sylveon EX that is currently not in my binder. It's a little bit grainy in the video, so on screen I have like a little picture of that Sylveon EX. Anyway, that is my binder collection of 2024. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and going this far. If you like little fun videos like this, feel free to subscribe and like the video. Until then, Happy New Year and thank you for joining me again.